So I'm delighted to say I'm joined by Shaun from 1 to 11 Kits. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, I'm really good. So I've already clocked that you've got both of them already available, the two that you can buy. How are they?
Yeah, I've gone for the stadium fit. It's a little bit more forgiving.
Yeah,
I don't have the body of a Greek god, so yeah, I've gone for the same size as last time compared to Luke. I'm an M in Luke, so I've gone an L in Kappa. For the stadium fit, I've tried the Elite on. I need to go another size up from that,
yeah.
and then I find the problem is that it's a little bit long. So yeah, happy with this. It's nice. I think I'm going to be cold washing them inside out, the same as last year. But yeah, it's a nice kit.
And what's your expert rating then of the new?
I think I find it very difficult. I think an expert. I would put it into different categories. So in terms of design, fit, color, history, prestige, and then when we examine kits in the past, we look at how successful we were in that kit or not, or certain iconic moments or players that we obviously can't do with this kit. So
Yeah,
just looking at its construction, it's very on point with what Kappa are doing. It's the same template design. That they brought out kits already in France and stuff. So I already knew that it was going to be this shape rather than this shape, which
yeah,
was what we had on last season's kit. So I knew it was going to be like this. I thought the collar would have a little like a little flap, which I believe that we're going to have on the away kit, and I knew there'd be some sort of two tone here. I thought it might be something to do with either the ground or a lot of things are doing stuff with the city at the moment. So you see Roma doing stuff around their city. So I didn't know if there's going to be something to do with like Birmingham or something like that. But they've gone, yeah, two tone lines, similar to the Macron or the 1982 away in which we won the European Cup in. So we've got history with this pattern. So they've put a few elements together. I'm still disappointed with how sort of like long lasting they are, but I
yeah.
don't think that is a Kappa problem. I think that's just a more general problem with modern football and modern football kits that they're just not made as well as they used to be.
Yeah, definitely. So, for anyone that doesn't know who you are on Instagram and YouTube, 1 to 11 Kits. And for me, you're one of my favorite people that I follow, especially on Instagram. I think your content is brilliant and it's right up my street. And I know you are a massive Villa fan, and a lot of people watching will be will have bought from you and will obviously follow you on Instagram.
Yeah.
So for anyone that doesn't know anything about 1 to 11, just briefly explain to us what it is that you do.
Um, I show fit pictures of my brick wall, and then occasionally there's a shirt there as well. I would say that 1 to 11 kits is just sort of my personal passion, which is football shirts. I've been obsessed with them from a very early age. I didn't grow up a Villa fan. Got Villa fan a bit later on in life when I moved to Birmingham. But I was always obsessed with football kits.
Yeah,
The design aspect. You got a couple of for example, this IX one here. They just stand out, and there's just something very nostalgic about them that they just bring happiness. They just bring smiles, whether it's a day out with your dad that might have passed away, or just something. They bring back so many memories that bring happiness to people, and I just love collecting them. There's plenty of worse things that I could be obsessed with and spend my money on.
yeah,
Unfortunately for me, it's staying up till 4 a.m. or driving. Like this morning, for example, I drove 2 hours just to go and find some kits in some
yeah,
random person's house. So yeah, it's an obsession, and that turned. I think it's very easy to say. Look, the prices of shirts at the moment have skyrocketed more than gold, more than bloody. If you'd invested in shirts back in 2010, and they'd probably have the same margins as buying stocks in Facebook or Uber or Amazon. So yeah, they've massively ballooned. And it was getting harder and harder and harder for me to be able to afford the kits that I needed for my own personal collection. So I started with just selling my own personal collection. If you scrolled very to the bottom of
yeah,
1 to 11 kits, you'd find some of my early shirts from my early collection. I just stuck them up and added a Depop page and an eBay page, and then it just slowly grew and grew and grew. I've been very fortunate to meet a lot of like-minded people and be able to find some great kits along the way. So, and hopefully, anyone that's bought off me has been happy with the ones that they've got.
I think it's really good. Obviously, not just as a Villa point. Like I saw this morning, you put like a Man United shirt on,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it's a quality shirt. It just looks so good. And obviously, like when you like, I'm not obviously not a United fan, but to see a shirt like that, it is a thing of beauty.
yeah,
And like you were alluding to earlier, like what your criteria of what makes a shirt, just the way it looks, everything about it is just a real cool shirt. So on that front, obviously you don't have to be a specific fan of that team to
no,
actually like the shirts that you
yeah, to appreciate like a certain
buy.
design. Yeah,
So I think it's
yeah,
really cool. So I've asked you to pick up a few shirts today. So you're going to show
yeah,
us some shirts. Obviously, I don't know what you're picking today, so
no.
my reaction will probably be like really good as well. So what are you going to go for first?
Hopefully, each shirt will have a bit of a story. I'm a Villa fan, so I've split it half and half. We've got some Villa, some non-Villa,
Yeah,
and hopefully we'll educate some people, or at least inspire them to have a little bit closer look at something that they might not already know.
cool.
So the first shirt I've gone for is the Blaugrana, the blue and the red, and it is Barcelona. This is a Maber shirt.
Yeah.
So you never would have heard of these. But basically, to try and explain them, these are like the Luke Roper of Barcelona.
Okay.
So this is a local swimwear company that were founded in 1940 in Barcelona, and you never would have heard of them. And they didn't, they claimed international recognition in 1981 when they became the sponsors of one of the biggest football teams in the world, Barcelona. So yeah, one of my absolute favorite kits. Some of the special things that they did that no one else was doing at the time is under here, which you'll see on a lot of kits now. They've got like
No way.
air pockets and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, so that wasn't a thing until Maber and their swimwear company. So I imagine that's from like under your shorts when you go to the beach and stuff.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they applied that to kits to help them with sweat. The material is a lot different to anything that people were wearing at the time. So a lot of clubs were wearing like a thick woolly sort of material, and this is very light, floaty material. It's very easy and would have been great for the hot La Liga weather. And yeah, they had some great players in this era. You would have seen a very young Koeman. You would have seen Maradona wear this home
Oh
shirt.
my God.
So yeah, there would have been a lot of great players, and yeah, it's just the fact that these guys, obscure now. You never heard of Maber again, but from 1981 when they were founded all the way until they won the European Cup in 1992 with the
Yeah.
Dream Team version 1 under losing my words now, Cruyff. They were the sponsors of Barcelona, and they made some amazing, fantastic kits. They were one of the first teams to, up until 1978, 79, Barcelona were wearing white away kits, which you just can't imagine
No.
and can't envision because that's a Real Madrid colour. But these are one of the first teams that they changed the away kits to yellow. And they put the red and blue stripes either here, which is the flag of Catalonia, or here. So yeah, amazing shirt and some
So
great
nice.
players. And yeah, it's definitely worth have a look at them. Check them out because they've got a really cool background. They went on to do a load of teams after Barcelona as
Oh, did
well.
they?
They did Real Betis, let me think, Real Vallecano, Porto, a lot of teams in Spain, and yeah, revolutionised kits
Such a
to
nice
more of
shirt. I think
of what
I
we would have
just
known now.
love shirts with a collar as well.
Yeah, this is a very light one. The one before this, which is the first one they did, looks very similar and it's very hard to
Yeah.
tell the difference. I don't have one, but basically to see the differences on the collar, it's half red and half blue, and you've got this down here, which is the Maber sign or logo, similar to Kappa and what they used to have in the
Yeah, it's
90s. But
nice.
this is Maber's version, and the first version doesn't have that. Otherwise, they look like the exact same kit, but the very, very small little differences. My favorite part is probably
Yeah,
either
I like the
this
badge
under here.
idea.
Yeah, this proper cool old badge which is stitched,
Yeah.
and I'm really like, a very very young Pep Guardiola, Gary Lineker when he came to Barcelona for a little bit, all would have been wearing Maybach, which is
Yeah.
a swimwear company.
What a cool story. Such a
Yeah.
good story that is.
Who's your favourite Villa player at the moment?
At the moment, it's the main man.
The main man.
Main man.
And
Definitely.
this is his shirt, which is one of my absolute favourites that I've got in my collection. It's really difficult when you buy match worn shirts to actually see or find out, other than some of the features, which is something that John spoke about last week. Some of
Yeah.
the features that are in, match worn shirts, what the players wear, different to what the fans wear. So when you get a shirt off an actual footballer, um, it just means the world, because then all the of the match worn shirt. So I managed to get this off a Millwall player, which was amazing.
That's
This is from the away game at the end of 2018. So Bruce was obviously resting a lot of the big names for the
yeah, it
playoffs,
was.
so we didn't know who
Yeah.
we were going to play. At the end of the game, we obviously found out that we were going to be playing Middlesbrough. But yeah, Grealish came on. We lost 1-0, but he swapped shirts at the end of the game with a Millwall player, and I ended up getting the shirt off the Millwall player. And yeah, it could go on to be something, a real special player for us. Hopefully he stays, and yeah, it's great to get the shirt from an actual player. Something that you wouldn't have been able to buy in the shop is, obviously, you wouldn't have been able to get
No,
recomp
you wouldn't,
on,
would you? Yeah.
which is something that they had. The material for this is super 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 stretchy.
It's really cool.
Is
I'd say that the Under Armour range that we had was quite
the
underrated.
It was the fact that it gave so many little features. Another feature is obviously the built, so it didn't have this sort of like stitching here and a separate
Yeah.
material here, where it's got them air pockets similar to Barcelona. And on the bottom front, on the commercial version, it has a little grey silvery circle that
Yeah.
says Under Armour, and on the players version, it really doesn't. It's just one of my favourite seasons. I know that the final I was gutted in the final of the playoff, but there were just some great games in the end. I think we beat Wolverhampton 5-1.
Yeah, it was a great game.
That was a great game. Even Bjarnason scored. Won the derby, which was great, and Snodgrass's goal in like the last minute away to Sheffield United, and
Yeah.
I was
Beauty. I like the vibe of the team that we had then. I thought, everybody was just together, wasn't it? And it was at the start of us like getting back to sort of where we were, and we were starting to get Villa back again after what had happened previously. And I feel like it is a blessing now that obviously we probably didn't go up that season, and it
yeah
was the making of Grealish really. That season that he wore that shirt, I'd say, is when
yeah.
he went up a gear, and then obviously the following season he took it up another level. So yeah, I think that's going to be worth a lot of money one day.
Yeah, hopefully. I'm not sure I'll ever
That
ever
won't be
get
on
rid
one
of
to
it, but
11 kits.
no, that won't be on 1 to 11 kits. And obviously, there's about 100 shirts that aren't on 1 to 11 kits that are my personal collection. But yeah, as you said, it was just John Terry coming in and sort of were there that got relegated. That obviously didn't want to be there, or just bad attitudes and stuff. It's just someone that he could look up to, and who could honestly say to him, "Look, I've done it. If you want to be at this level, this is what you got to do, and this is what you got to change." And you got to listen to someone like that. And yeah, it was a good time. I think Steve Bruce does get some unwarranted criticism, because we could quite easily have been Sunderland now, on the way it was going. So overall, yeah, that wasn't a half bad season. It was just the first half to the next season where it
Yeah,
sort of went wrong, didn't it?
it's just a part of another chapter to where we're
Yeah.
at right now. Introduction to a football shirt. So here it is.
Here it is. Yeah, we've got you've just seen the goal, and now you can see the shirt. So, Julian John Joachim, his match worn shirt from the first leg of the UEFA Cup against Celta Vigo, and it's the one that scored the winning goal in that leg, which was amazing. Some of the important things of this you'll see on the back. Obviously, no Premier League on the bottom of the numbers, just plain white. You'll see that this is made of a slightly different material to the ones that you bought from the club shop. This
Yeah.
one's sort of like up and out on the label as well. It says XL, which is mad because he's so tiny. But on the ones that you buy from the shop, it says 46 to 48 or 42 to 44. And then on the front, due to regulations in Europe, the sponsor was too big and something had to go. So similar to AS Computers here, get rid of the literally just LDV. It's amazing. I got this one this was found basically outside the ground of Celta Vigo. There's a small bar run by a small tapas bar run by a little Spanish lady in Vigo, the city of Vigo, and there's a Celta Vigo collector similar to me, being an Aston Villa collector. He's gone in there because it's opposite the ground. They've got loads of memorabilia up over all the walls. And, she wanted to try and declutter, so she's got rid of some bits and sold them to him. And she just happened to have that one. So there must have been some sort of arrangement where she was getting shirts from the club to put in this bar where all the home fans used to go before the games, and that's where his shirt was. It's still got a couple of tape marks because it's obviously been in the frame and stuff. But yeah, the actual match worn shirt.
It's a brilliant shirt. One thing that I remember about, especially him in that shirt. So you said it's got XL at the back. Is that he did like a baggy shirt, and now you can tell why.
The kit man in the 90s, I've heard that our kit man in the 90s literally just didn't give him a choice. They all had the same size shirt and they had to make it work. So you see players like Julian and like Hendry and stuff just in these massive, very young Gareth Barry just in these shirts that are swamping them. We'd look all right in them. I wouldn't look pregnant when I was wearing one of them if I was a footballer in that day and age. I would have looked skinny, but yeah, it was crazy, and it was just mad to see those little differences that you don't really get nowadays in shirts. That what makes them so special. So
definitely,
yeah.
And those shirts as well, you could use getting like long sleeve as well.
This match of the season before he left, and he wore a long sleeve. So I've got a long sleeve as sort of like a throwback to him. And at one game he played against Everton. But yeah, long sleeves are my fave, man. That's my stuff. That's what I try and find for myself. But it's hard. But I managed to get my dream shirt the other day.
Go on, let's have a look.
You'll see the 1988 Hummel in a long sleeve, which is just incredible. You just don't. I've been searching for so long for this shirt, and as soon as I saw it, just had to have it. Just sold my house, sold my dog, sold my wife, and got this instead. So she sleeps with me in the bed instead. Just me in this long sleeve shirt. But this is my absolutely favourite Aston Villa shirt of all time. This is the one. Yeah, this is it, because it's just this is such an iconic shirt in itself. Enough to get this template. One of the only clubs that do get this template, to have Hummel just at the right time. To we're lucky to have such a shirt in our collection, because this is wanted even by non-Aston Villa fans. Football collectors around the world want this shirt because it's just so beautiful. And to have it in a long sleeve is just super rare. Might have copiers. We won promotion back to the first division under Graham Taylor with it. Won away at Blues in it. This is the best Aston Villa shirt going.
So what will you do with that shirt now?
This one I'm going to wear to the ground. I'm going to keep it forever. I'm going to ruin it. I'm going to get tikka pie down it, bolty pie down it. I'm going to get IPA down it. And this is just mine to ruin and wreck, unfortunately. Sorry for anyone that wants one. But yeah, that's just to wear. But yeah, I've got a lot of them, and they just hang forever, and I put them on my own little personal Instagram.
So what's the next shirt that you're going to bring to the table?
So I fell in love with football back in World Cup '98. That was my first foray, my first sort of experience with anything to do with football, really. We were allowed to watch it in school. All the kits, all the colours, all the players, really just blasted my imagination, and I was hooked then. So collecting World Cup '98 kits has been a small passion of mine, as well as Aston Villa, and one of my favourite. The reason why this one's special is not only the amazing design. You know, we've got flames throughout it. The Japan badge itself is crazy cool, just to look at
So
as a
good.
badge, and the amazing player at the back, which is Nakata, who signed this particular shirt. The reason why this one's so special is because normally shirts are designed by the manufacturer.
Yeah.
So Puma send Italy the World Cup 2006 shirt. That's just in my eyeline. That's why I put that one out. But yeah, Puma send Italy the World Cup 2006 shirt. They get approval. They then go and manufacture it and make it. Japan obviously like to be different or like to be weird
Yeah.
as per Japan. So in the 90s, they designed the kit. And that started back in 1992 in red and white, which is similar to their colour. But they decided to start creating their own kits. Is my connection stable?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
So they started trying to create their own kits. And what that means is you find that, especially with this kit, is you've got a version of this with Asics, you've got a version of this with Adidas, and you've got a version of this with Puma, all being worn by different teams in the same era. So World Cup '98, Asics are wearing this particular shirt. The World Cup 1997, they're playing with Puma.
Yeah.
The under 17s and under 20 teams, they've got Adidas there instead. So it's just mad. So, you know, guys, go have a look and go Google it and have a look. But yeah, the exact same shirts, but with different sponsors rather than different teams. So this is a Japanese F. Crazy, yeah, because you always think that it's the old manufacturers that are making them, but with this one, it was Japan telling Asics what to make.
No way. Such a cool story as well behind that shirt as well.
Yeah.
So
Do you have a favourite national shirt?
I'd say Italy.
Italy, yeah.
Just like you with that sort of World Cup story. When I was a kid growing up, obviously Italian football, it used to be on like Channel 4 every Sunday, and it used to be on Channel 4 all day. Now, for a kid who's probably just obsessed with football, just to see that, it was just brilliant because it was just on normal TV. And, you know, just the kits that were out, obviously Inter Milan, AC Milan, those shirts. So I'd say going back to that, I'd say it's probably like the Italian shirts, to be fair. And I have like fond memories of like AC Milan and Inter Milan, really. So I'd say those shirts. And I think, you know, like I said to the last video with John as well, like football kits can be quite nostalgic, can't they? You know, they take you back to different memories, and obviously happy memories or just your first sort of thoughts of teams playing in football shirts. So yeah, that's what I'd say. I'd say the Italian shirt, obviously Brazil. I mean, how iconic is that shirt? It's like, you know,
Ronaldo.
You don't have to be a football fan to know what that shirt is.
No,
just like
bright yellow
nations. I'd say as well, Czech Republic. I quite like their shirts. Croatia. That the design on that shirt's just mad. Yes, there it is. Just crazy, but it works and it's great.
The golden boot winner for World Cup '98, Suka.
What's that got there?
That's Jamaica.
Oh my god!
Look at that. That's a mad design. But they come out with cool kits as well. With Whitmore on the back, who was one of their best players.
What's that from?
World Cup '98
World Cup
again.
'98.
Yeah, it's got the World Cup '98.
But you know what you can tell with that shirt and the Japan shirt is that it's cultural.
Yeah,
it's not like a template.
No, yeah.
And it's like I don't know, like whenever you're doing anything creative, you have mood boards, don't you? And you look at your mood boards, which then you follow your ideas. And I feel like those type of shirts, they've literally like got their mood boards and they're like putting templates on and designs and just going with a brief. Whereas I feel like you look at modern day shirts now, so you look at the shirt that you're wearing now.
Yeah,
it's quite standard, really.
It is, yeah.
And you don't really see that much character from it. Whereas obviously when we had Luke designing the shirts, you could see like little inklings of certain things he took inspiration from different shirts, which obviously you can tell there was that sort of thought process behind it. But I
Just
do,
taking the time to understand the club.
yeah,
Kappa have got a plethora of football teams that they're the manufacturer of. We're just one of those teams.
yeah,
I imagine they put a lot more effort into the likes of Napoli and other teams that they're currently the sponsors of. So they'll have a couple of things that they want to do, and then they will try their best to apply that to each team that they've got. I also think that when they are going to do more creative things in this day and age, they save that for the third shirts and for the away shirts. I think there's fear among large manufacturers to do something different, especially with the home shirts. And again, that's one of the reasons why Luke was so successful, because it was different than anything that had been, at least in modern times, anything that had been. So, when I look at the teams that are actually doing stuff that are different, even though I was crying out for Kappa before we had Kappa, but it's a different Kappa now. The Kappa of the 90s that were making stuff like this, they're making the Barcelona shirts and had the tape and had the stuff like the tracksuit top and the tracky bottoms that we got. That's gone now, and yeah, it's a shame, because in a way it would probably be better to have a smaller manufacturer and not the likes of Adidas or Umbro or Nike, to have someone that we are one of the main guys
yeah,
and people of. So they really make an effort to try and win the contract, to try and win our approval to be the manufacturer. So they take more time and effort into putting a shirt together.
yeah,
But it's
definitely.
also, the memories as well. A lot of people talk about Nike shirts. No, I don't particularly think there's anything that spectacular about them. If you have an amazing season, people are going to love them shirts, regardless of how much effort was put into making them.
Yeah, I think the thing for me is like when you start getting those big manufacturers like Adidas and Nike, you're talking a template to start with. I think if you look at, like, I don't know, Blues' new shirt, and then you look at, say, Brighton's new shirt, they're all very similar. Um, One shirt that I do think is really cool in the Premier League at the minute is Arsenal's,
Yeah,
and and
that's actually quite nice.
and I think that's probably because they are Puma, and like you've just said, they're probably bringing in all the money, and they're a high-end Premier League team. Well, they should be.
Mm.
And I just think that shirt's really cool. Like, I just love the design, and I think they sort of take that little bit of a risk with
Yeah.
the actual pattern on the shirt. Like, I can't imagine Villa taking that risk. Do you know what I mean? I just feel like we're quite.
No, it would be good to, yeah, it would be good just to have, like, even just the materials and stuff as well. Kappa haven't been the greatest at making shirts last, which is a problem amongst a lot of modern shirts. But yeah, just more things in terms of pattern and stuff. You look at the kind of things like the Gucci Paris Saint-Germain shirt, or the Chelsea third kit and the Barcelona third kit last season and stuff like that, where it's just like my colours and two tone. They've got the pinstripes in this, but this could have been, if you had clarity here and blue here, you can put anything in this in two-tone blue and two-tone carrot to really make it pop or make it different. You could have had the state, the whole end in it, or the map of Birmingham, like the streets of Aston within it and stuff like that. There's mad things you can do, but obviously, it's not meant
So moving away from
to be.
kit slightly before we finish off. So
Own kit.
obviously we're in sort of pre-season break-ish mode. How are you feeling of what's been going on at Villa so far?
I'm quietly confident that we'll stay up. We need to spend money in the right places, and I'd like to see them spend it on proven Premiership quality players that have played in the Premier League and stayed up. I'd like it to be in that bracket of, you know 28 to 30, or 27 to 31, around that age. One or two players around that age to come and stabilise the team. It'd be good to have a striker of that age. I
Yeah.
don't feel like, in the Premier League we can wait around for someone to develop. Unfortunately, it's just too risky, because you see big clubs get relegated. We've been relegated before. Newcastle have been relegated. West Ham have been relegated. It's going to be a fight. I think it's going to be another difficult season. It's good that we've got Craig Shakespeare in place, who's got experience in the league, and if we can just get some right additions of experienced players with the right attitude. But it's difficult. It's so much easier said than done. And,
Yeah,
you know, a lot of people just think, oh, we'll just do that. We'll do this and do that. I imagine it's so difficult and we've got such a short window. I don't want to see us do, 20 signings or 6 signings. I think it just needs to be like 3 players,
yeah,
three good experienced players. And then in January, we can reassess it. You
yeah.
don't have to spend all the money in the summer.
I'm totally with you. I think if everybody stays, if one person especially stays, and we
Yeah,
have
yeah.
3 or 4 additions plus a few players on, say, 10 mil like MacArthur or somebody
Mm.
like that, then I think we'd be fine. I think, but like you say, we can't afford to have a goal scorer come in, or a striker, should we say, who has to find his feet, has to find confidence. We just need someone to just come in, the door running, and bang them goals in, because we will create chances if everybody
Yeah.
stays. I'm pretty confident now. I think, like you said, we've got Craig Shakespeare, we've got a new sporting director, we've got a new head of recruitment. The academy, they're finding these 16-year-olds from all over Europe now. So
Mm.
on that front, we're looking really, really good. We just need now the transfers coming in to back it up and keep us in this league and let us progress and grow. Um, uh,
100%. Tactically as well, we need to make sure we don't move away with what has kept us up. And I know
yeah,
it's not the greatest to watch, but you know, you look at the teams that have tried to change their style and try and be something that, unless you're in the top half of the table established, it's very make the most of set pieces. And we need to realise we're not suddenly a Premier League. You know, the title and the name of the club and the history of the club doesn't mean that we shouldn't be clever with the way that we do stuff and be pragmatic, and we can't be all out attack and gung ho, and we'll just get battered by some of the clubs still. So yeah, baby steps and small steps, and then you keep doing that, you keep getting a little bit better every game, and before you know it, in 2 seasons, then we are an established Premier League team who could be fighting for Europe and stuff. But let's not run before we can walk.
definitely, I agree with you. Anyway, it's been great chatting to you. For anybody that's watching, definitely check this guy out on Instagram, 1 to 11 Kit. It's been great chatting to you.
It's been a pleasure, mate. Up the Villa.
Thank you, up the Villa.